when I read that, I thought about where God had took me out of. I was in prison. I'm talking, I was the lowest of the lowest. And I prayed and asked God to show me his glory. I woke up the next morning. Richie, report to the front gate. I'm like, what? It's 4:30 in the morning. What do they want? Nobody knew where I was going. Sergeant was like, where the fuck are you going, Richie? Excuse my language. But he said, where the fuck are you going, Richie? I said, I don't know. So I get to the front gate and tell me how there's 2 officers there. Don't know where I'm going. They're asking me like I know. And I'm like, well, you guys run the prison and I'm low custody. So I work outside of the gate. Like go and I mow yards and pick up trash all around the city. So my custody's low, but they got to put me in chains. So I asked the officer, I said, officer, how come I got to be put in chains if I'm minimum custody? I don't have to be in chains. And he's like, well, basically, you got to be put in chains because he's in chains. I looked over and there was one other person who was there. I looked at him. I know that suffering. I know what it feels like to be what he was in. I've been there. So I immediately saw the suffering and the hurt that was all over this dude. He had to be put in chains. So I didn't get it then, but I had to be put in chains because of him. So we get put in the gate. We get put in chains. And Sarge asks, captain comes and asks where we're going. And the officer told the captain, he's on a mission for the Most High. Now, when I heard that, after everything that I went through and God, my prayer the night before, me asking God to show me my glory, I'm like, okay, I'm on a mission for the Most High. And I just heard the officer tell another officer that this ain't no coincidence and probably your angels. Nobody even knows why I'm leaving. This is like a random, out of the spur of the moment thing. So we get put in the back of this van, right? Paddy wagon. We get put in the back of the paddy wagon. I'm like, all right, God, what's going on right now? Obviously, you want me to do something for you. I'm on like kind of a mission. So the dude gets in first and he's in chains. Now I'm in chains too. When he gets in, he's got his suffering on him. He puts his head down. He don't say nothing. The officer looks at me and says, hey, do you want the lights on or off? Now, this officer's being extremely nice to me to be a prison officer. I'm like, well, I want the lights. And I looked at the guy and I said off because something told me the lights need to be off for this. Take the lights off. Boom. This is what happens. The lights go off. The door closes. Immediately, God tells me to start telling him what I'm going through. And I start explaining to him how I'm in prison. I'm a recovering fentanyl addict. And I've been doing ice the last couple of weeks. I asked God to take it from me. And I'm battling with this addiction inside of prison. But God is here. And God came while I was in my addiction and showed himself to me in a mighty way. And I started telling him a few of the testimonies